We sharpen one another in light of the day. That's what the church is about. What does that mean we are? Connected, communicating. We're connected close enough to see one another. We're communicating. We're speaking words that Christ can energize. And we do it in the context that we care. I care so much about you going out in the fire, I want to remind you don't have your helmet on. I care so much about you going into the smoke, I want to remind you need your oxygen tank. I care about you so much, I say, something's out of whack here. Something's going on in your life. You look different, you act different, your eyes are different, you treat your wife differently, you're treating your kids differently. What's going on? See, we all need to be close, connected, caring. Now, how do you do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. And God says you use the shield of faith and make sure everybody else is using it. We remind each other that when God says it quenches all the fiery darts, he means it. That there is no temptation taken us but such as is common to man, but God is faithful and he can extinguish every one of them that we let him. We remind each other of that. And then we realize Satan knows just where to shoot in our life. Because we all have an area. My dad used to store all the gas cans and all the paint cans and the kerosene cans in the shed because he had been somewhere where something had burned. So he had he didn't want gas fumes anywhere around us. So we put it out in the shed. And I used to mow the lawn and leave the gas can, and my dad would say. And he knew one spark would. Satan knows what can explode us. He knows where to shoot. And so, because of that, when we have pain, he knows that he can shoot an arrow at us and inflame us, say, God isn't good, he shouldn't allow you to have pain. But God says, no, in faith, trust my wisdom. I know everything about your life, and I know you need this pain right now. When we have sorrow, God doesn't care, he's out of touch. God says, I love you so much that I'm bringing that sorrow to help you understand how much I love you and how much only I can comfort you. And when you have that temptation, Satan says, God doesn't understand your needs. I'm going to feed your needs. And God says, no, I understand your needs, and I have a perfect timing for meeting every desire you have. And when we have a loss, he says, God is absent, Satan says. He can't protect you. And God says, no, I'll never leave you or forsake you. That loss came with me standing right next to you. I happen to be holding your hand right now. And when that sickness comes, Satan says, God's out of control. God says, no, trust my power. I am using that to show you my grace is sufficient for you. Don't petition me to take away that thorn in your flesh. Find I can be closest. And when we have that deepest desire, a lust, Satan says, God doesn't really want you to be happy. And God says, trust my plans. I built that desire into you. Don't let it go toward lust. Let it go toward letting me fulfill your legitimate desires in a biblical way.